This episode of the podcast is what I would do if I had time to focus on X as a platform. The old Twitter platform converted into X. If I had time to focus on growth on that platform, what would I do? Because the thing is, I only have around 5,000 followers on X, not a lot. And my engagement isn't great. It doesn't really stress me out because my engagement on TikTok and Instagram Reels is excellent. My engagement on YouTube is growing. But I wish my X wasn't lacking. And I know I could fix it, but it does take time. And that is not something that I have a lot of these days. In fact, I had originally started this personal brand. Well, this is like the second take of the personal brand. So their second take of the personal brand began in Rome in October of 2022. And I said, I'm going to do Build in Public, where I share updates from my companies on Twitter every day. And it was Twitter back then. Elon Musk had not bought it. And I found that in order to do Build in Public, I just had to spend so much time, and it wasn't that fun for me. I like to read, but I'm a slow reader. And I wasn't having as much fun doing it. And then I had the thought, maybe I could spend a fraction of that time doing this on other platforms. And these other platforms, they're just not saturated with this type of content in the same way Twitter is. So I started doing it on TikTok instead. And my theory was right. In fact, if you search Build in Public on TikTok, I rank number one. I show up number one for Build in Public on TikTok. It was way easier. It took a lot less time, a lot less effort. I was growing way faster, get way more attention. I can reuse those videos. And that's how this brand came to be. That's how this video brand of mine came about. It started with Twitter, took too much time and effort. I tried it with video on TikTok, reused those videos everywhere else using reusevideo.com. And that's what happened. But I have a spot in my heart for the type of short form writing that you see on X or threads. There's just so much of it. I have friends who are growing on X now, and they're growing in the way that I'm going to describe in this show. But I look at these friends and I'm like, I would do it so much better. So this is what I would do. First, this almost goes without saying, but I got to say it. I would niche down hard. I would just do search engine optimization. I guess I would more so call the niche organic growth, organic social media and organic search, not paid search, organic search. That would be the niche. And if I niche down even harder, it would be easier, but that would be the niche. I would carve out 3 hours a day for this, more if possible. If I didn't have 3 hours a day to carve out, let's say I would only do this if I had a minimum of 2 hours a day to carve out, to be honest. I would want to give myself at least 2 hours in a day. More if I could. 3 would be a fine amount, but I would do more too. And I would break out. This is how I work. I do 25-minute Pomodoro sessions. So it's 4 of these 25-minute sessions separated by 3 to 5 minute breaks. That makes up a 2-hour block. And then I take a break for 20 minutes to maybe 2 hours. And then I do another 2-hour session with the 4 sessions inside of that single session. It is a great way to work, a great way to be productive. I set a timer on my phone. I step away from my computer. When that timer goes off, it's a timer for 25 minutes. I step away from my computer. And it makes it so I don't just stare at a screen and then get a headache and then put out bad content, bad work, thoughtless work. So I would do that. Honestly, I would probably do 3 to 6 hours a day. Whenever I could, I would take growth very seriously. Now, I would also get a premium account. Actually, I would get a premium plus account, minimum premium account. If you don't, and this has happened to a friend, if you don't have a premium account, you can get banned really easy. And it's happened to several friends without premium accounts. So I would get a premium account minimum, but I would get a premium plus account. I heard that premium plus accounts, they get more reach. I would get a premium plus account on X. Next, I would follow the biggest accounts, and especially the biggest accounts in my niche. I would follow as many related accounts in my niche that are big as I could. And again, the biggest accounts, even if they were general accounts, someone like Elon Musk, for example. They say that if you want to really focus on growth, you should set alarms and try to be the first to comment on these big accounts. So I would do that, but depending on how seriously I wanted to take it, maybe I would do this. I could see myself doing this. I would literally have alarms on my phone for when some of the biggest accounts posted, just so I could be the first. Like if Elon Musk posted, just so I could be one of the first people to leave a comment, because those first comments get a lot more reach. And then I would spend around 2 hours a day commenting on these people's posts who I follow. If it was somebody like Elon who posted, I would find a way to spin whatever he posted and turn it into my niche. Make it about SEO, make it about organic social, make it about organic traffic, not paid traffic. If it was someone in my niche, I would try to add to the conversation, to give value, to make myself seen, and I would do it every day to make myself seen and to try to give value. And the thing is, here's what happens. When you comment on all these people's, there's a real strategy to this. When you comment every day, people notice the things that you're saying, especially if what you're saying is insightful, and especially what your name is. I actually would also add organic traffic to my name on X. My name right now, I think it's Show Progress is my username, or it's Edward Sturm. I would do Edward Sturm dash organic traffic, something like that, just so people know exactly what I'm about from looking at my name. Because when you're leaving all these comments every day, if your name is intriguing, if your name hits a niche that somebody is interested in, or if what you post, what you comment is insightful or adds to the conversation, people are either going to follow you right there or more likely go and check out your profile to see if you're posting value. So I would try to post a lot of good content that would get commented on and shared, and I would do these as comments. But then I would spend another hour, so I said 3 hours, I would spend that third hour each day writing valuable posts for my profile, basically creating, there's this term that's been floating around for a while, a binge bank of content, of information, because I want somebody to come across my profile from an insightful comment or from seeing my name in the comment section. Be like, who is this person? I'm interested because of this comment or because of this person's name. Go to my profile and then see that I have all of this interesting information that I have just posted there. And then they can binge on what I have posted on my profile. And then that person will follow me. They might even subscribe to a newsletter right away. Whenever I post something on my own profile, I would end the thread or the post with subscribe to my newsletter. I would never post a link in the opening post. Cody Schneider is actually a great example of this. Cody Schneider on X, he'll put up a post and then he'll put a call to action as a second comment or the third comment on that post. So, oh, and sub to my channel, or oh, and sub to my newsletter. So it could be his YouTube channel or his newsletter. So I would have a newsletter that I'm building up, but I would reuse that content from the newsletter as self posts on my page. Or if I had any insightful comment that I made on somebody's post, I would put that in the newsletter. I would just have this circle of reuse content, especially content that's validated, that performed well in the past. I would reuse it over and over and over and over again. I would look for hooks that have performed well on other people's posts, especially video and image hooks. So sometimes you might see images that make people stop scrolling or videos that make people stop scrolling. I would take that video, especially if it's more of a general video, I would take that video or photo and then use that in the opening post of a thread that I might make because it's validated and I know it will get somebody to stop. And then I can spin it towards my niche, or I could find something directly in my niche. And whenever there's a trending topic, I would talk about trending topics, or I would relate that trending topic to my niche, which actually I'm doing now more with this show. I got on this a little bit too late, but I recently made a podcast about P. Diddy's SEO and how during the biggest height of the scandal, he was getting a spike to his organic traffic. And instead of doing instead of doing search engine optimization on my own blog, I would be doing it on X. I would put out the best posts that I can, the best threads that I can on X. I would want the stuff to go viral, to get shared, because that will bring me more followers. And then I would move those followers to a newsletter so I own the followers. As in, even if I stop getting reach on X for some reason, I could still send out messages to my newsletter and people would see. And very quickly, I would put in a paid product. But doing this, especially the comments, it would just bring a lot more reach, but it takes time. So I'm going to summarize this strategy. This is what I would do if I had time to focus on X as a channel, to focus on growing on X as a channel. 3 hours a day, more if possible. I'd have Premium Plus, follow the biggest accounts in general, and especially the biggest accounts in my niche. I would set alarms so I could be the first person to comment on these people's posts. I would spend 2 hours commenting, giving the best insights or adding to the conversation, or if it's somebody who is in a general niche and it's not my niche, like Elon Musk spinning the post towards my niche, my own profile, it would be very clear. You just have to look at my profile for a second. You know what I'm about. I would make it very, very clear. And I would spend an hour a day writing value, creating a binge bank for my profile. So people can just read. Someone who discovers me for the first time can spend 30 minutes going down the rabbit hole, an hour going down the rabbit hole, just reading all of my posts, all my old posts. When I'm posting on my own profile, I would use validated hooks that have performed well in the past, videos and images that have performed well in the past, and I would use them as my own hooks. I would spin them, make them relevant to my own niche, to what I was posting. I see friends who are posting and they're not doing that, and it drives me crazy that they are not doing that. All the time as well, if I see a post on TikTok or Instagram Reels in my niche, I will literally just download it. I'll make sure to be generous and keep the person's handle in the video. Like if you download a video from TikTok, it shows the person's handle in that video. Now you could download a TikTok video without the watermark, and that will be better for your reach on Instagram, but I don't think it actually makes much of a difference on X. If that's false, somebody correct me. So I would do that, and I would show that video, and I would comment on that video. And maybe I would also add a thread for that video. That would be my hook. Or I would just use other meme videos that I know will get somebody to stop. My friend Jason Levin, he has a daily meme newsletter that thousands of people subscribe to. And he sends just the hottest memes every day. And then you can also, he built a SaaS around it. It's called memelord.tech. And he sends out great memes. And I would use those memes and spin them to my niche and use them to post every day on my own profile and find the best hooks that I can. Treat it as a blog, move people to a newsletter, reuse content throughout the newsletter and throughout my X. And eventually I would be seen as somebody who's just, oh, I'm always going to read what this person says because this person is always putting out great stuff, great insights on X. And that's what I would do. That's what I would do if I had time to grow on X. And maybe someday I will. I wanted to share that because if you have not committed to any platform, or lots of people don't like making video. I love making video. That's why I do this show every day. That's why I have my daily TikTok and Instagram. But I have friends who have tried video. It's just not for them. They don't like it. Well, if you're one of those people, but you want to create, maybe you would prefer to write, and then you could do this. Now, if you were comfortable doing a little bit of video, I would also say do live streams, because I have friends who are doing live streams on X and they are killing it. And I would also put in multimedia. I would put in video on my X when possible of myself, answering questions that I might get. So maybe I would do live streams, but I would have those live streams recorded, and then I would break them up. Oh yeah, this is something else. I would break them up. I'd have an editor, and I'd break them up into short form content that can go out on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Snapchat Spotlight, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, LinkedIn, all of them. I get so inspired by what is possible, but it's like all things, and it just takes time. But I really wanted to make this episode because it's something I think about a lot. It's something I see, oh, I would love to do that. And that's what I would do. So I hope this helped somebody. This is episode 479 of my daily digital marketing podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for listening. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.